Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so yesterday I made my updated top 10 Dokkan Fest TURs tier list, and I think the number one thing that got pointed out by a lot of people as something that they didn't like was how high on the list I still have Lord Slug. I still think Lord Slug is like super good, so I make no apologies for that positioning, and I wanted to jump in and have another like showcase of him and test out his team in a difficult event and see if we can still cut it, right? So this rotation would be really good if I could get a rainbow orb for Janemba in slot 1, because what does he get from the rainbow orb? That gives, yeah, see, that's what gives him his damage reduction. So I don't really want him in slot 1 if he doesn't have it. But I mean, Slug can build up to being a slot 1 unit, but is not really an like amazing slot 1 unit straight away. But I guess we'll see how we go. But yeah, Slug has demonic power as one of his categories, which obviously is very good. And then he has movie bosses, which of course gives us some really good options like Janemba, and we've got TEQ Broly on the team. And then inhuman deeds as well, which can be helpful. But yeah, I mean, like, in terms of, like, the biggest thing was people saying that, like, Slug being so high, especially in comparison to, like, TEQ Goku, who I do think is very disappointing of a release. Yeah, I saw some people saying, like, his restriction is, like saying, oh, people complain about Kaioken Goku's restriction and then Slug, like, is worse. But Slug's restriction is that for his intro you need another 3 demonic power characters, right? If you're running his leader skill, the friend Slug already counts as one of them. And then when you think about some of the big hitting like demonic power characters, like we got Glorio, who obviously still is one of the best TURs. Then on the team we've also got the Super Easy A Buhan. And then there you go. That's the demonic power characters that you need, like straight away. And you could build the whole of the rest of the team with no other demonic power characters, and Slug would still get his intro. So yeah, I don't really see his restriction as like, because characters can have a restriction as long as it's easy enough to meet, or it's like the team is still good, right? Like if they brought out a Gogeta and he had a thing where he had to have 5 allies that were like, I don't know, Fusion's obviously not a great choice because like Fusion specifically. Well, let's say it was like a Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Let's say they release Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku, right? And he has a restriction in his passive where he has to be run with 5 other Power Beyond Super Saiyan characters. Like, some people would probably complain that he has a restriction, but Power Beyond Super Saiyan is probably one of the most diverse, like, powerful categories in the game, right? So it wouldn't really matter too much that that was the restriction that he had. And so that's kind of the thing with Slug, right, is that his team is good, there are good demonic power characters. The problem with Kaioken Goku is it's not difficult to get his intro, but for that extra 70% attack and crit chance, he needs to have a full Reps of Universe 7 rotation, which, like, that team is obviously not as good as it once was. A lot of the slot 1 units are relying on dodge. So even though his restriction might require, like, even if it requires like less units, I still think it's a worse restriction because of the units it requires, right? It's like with Super Trunks requiring multiple Android/Cell Saga allies at times when there aren't that many good ones. And then of course, you know, his is an example of a bad restriction because you have to build the team around him and then he only gets a chance to guard. Whereas at least these guys are getting something guaranteed from meeting their restriction. But yeah, this is also the very first time I've used these guys. I only just pulled them from a banner, so they are like 55%, not fully level 10 links. They could end up being a massive liability in this run, but I mean, they just did a triple super and then an additional normal there as well, so not bad. Because yeah, they support all extreme class allies and then give extra support to demonic power, so that seems pretty good. Slug at 800k. I might let Slug take some hits in slot 1 again though, because he does get build up. Slug gets a Scouter once he's been hit a certain number of times, which is pretty good as well. Definitely a useful bit of tech. So we'll go ahead and do that. Get the extra buff from the orbs. and then Slug 11 point. I mean, that's the thing. Slug's like attack stats aren't even that much worse than Kaioken Goku in the early turns. Like, his additionals at 15.5. We're seeing clips of Kaioken Goku struggling to get over like 20. Maybe not, I guess, with the additionals. But then I suppose it also depends whether you have the rotation with those allies or not. So, like, I'm not. I guess, like, to be fair, I did put a fairly big gap. Where did I put Slug in the end on the list? He was only. I think he was only at like 6 or 7, right? Let me bring the list back up here quickly, because I put Kaioken Goku at 10. And then, yeah, Slug was at 7. But I also put him in the same colour tier as, like, Buhan at 8 and Daima Goku at 6. So if you really wanted to argue that Slug was only at 8, like with the list version that I made, like, that would still be fine. And then Kaioken Goku's at 10. So they're only, like, 2 spaces apart. And I put Kaioken Goku in the same colour tier as Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who was at 9. So if you really wanted to, you could move Kaioken Goku up. So then, worst case scenario, they're just next to each other on the list. Like, with Slug being at 8 and Kaioken Goku being at 9. But, yeah, people acting like I put this massive, like, island in between them or something. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I always say with my tier list, it's based on my own experience with the game and how I feel like the units have treated me during the runs that I've done since I pulled them and everything. And yeah, I just think Slug has been better from what I've seen than Kaioken Goku. But yeah, I don't know. Demonic Power is a team that will get buffs. I guess with the Daima stuff coming out, I'm assuming that Goma, when we eventually get his card, especially whether it's an LR or not, like the final form, like the big third eye, like Goma, I'm assuming he will be a Demonic Power character. Like, surely there's no way he won't be. So depending on what he does, that could be a massive buff for this team. And if he requires Demonic Power allies, then obviously characters like Glorio and Slug are still going to have their uses. But yeah, I mean, I think Slug is pretty good. Like, Slug isn't really supposed to be a slot 1 unit, but he can build up enough defense that he kind of can manage it. Because remember, he has 66% damage reduction if you have the Demonic Power allies. So that's pretty good. Actually, wait, no, is the damage reduction tied to allies or not? Yeah, we won't get big bad bosses here, but we'll go ahead and transform Broly. Yeah, because he gets the extra 33% damage reduction with the allies, extra attack, and then obviously does the domain. So, and then he has base damage reduction 33%. So he has 66% damage reduction. Each attack performed, he builds up an extra 200% attack and defense. He has the Scouter after he's been attacked 5 times. If your HP is 66% or less at the end of the turn, you get 6% HP back. And then, yeah, while the domain is up, he gives allies key and recovers an extra 10% at the end of the turn. So, I mean, here he is. Is this the friend one? This is a 79% Slug with no big bad bosses active. And he has 1 million defense before supering. His super attack raises defense by 30%, and then he has that 66% damage reduction. So, I think he's pretty good. Yeah, Dark FV in the chat saying, Slug is definitely better, I trust him way more than that bum blue Kaioken Goku. Yeah, 15 million, that's about what Blue Kaioken gets if he isn't on the Reps of Universe 17. So, yeah, I'm not saying they are like worlds apart. Like I said, at most on the list that I made, they're like maybe 3 places away from each other in the top 10. But it just surprised me. I think it happened the last time as well. I made the tier list. I don't know if I just really like Slug more than everybody else, but a lot of people complaining that Slug was too high. So I thought it'd be fun to do this video, just get a run in with Slug and his team. There he is at 21 million attack, and that's my one on this turn now, right? Or are we still on? No, it's the friend one, so it's 2 dupes. So it's not even Rainbow. And that's the thing with Kaioken Goku, because I didn't pull him. When I talk about like my experience with using him on different team builds and stuff, I've been using him on the private server, so obviously he's Rainbow full level 10 links. And there you go, Slug up to 23 million. So he's now that his passive is built up, he's now hitting attack stats that aren't super dissimilar to Kaioken Goku. He's also not losing us 5% HP with every super attack that he does, which is nice. But yeah, these guys give some decent support. They have dodge. I guess, to be fair, they probably weren't the best option to bring for this event in particular, because I have a feeling that they're probably going to get me killed against AGL Jiren. But I thought I'd throw them on the team because we didn't have I haven't had a chance to use them at all yet. So how do I want to do this? When Slug has 800k, I don't really want to float off Buhan though, because Buhan is so good. But maybe I should keep Janemba here. Or just float Janemba, have Janemba be the floating support unit, I guess. Obviously Slug has the active skill as well, which is activated when HP is 60% or less, or from turn 4, which is a pretty good restriction. It just does that, like, it's just a damage dealing active skill, but it's pretty good. So let's do that. Do that for Buhan. Obviously he will tank Kefla with no issue, and then do that. Get that bit of extra support. Yeah, they're definitely dodge or die against hard bosses, especially with mine only being at 55%. Like, obviously not expecting them to be insane. I seem to remember on release though, like when Slug came out, they were seen as being at least somewhat decent, like in terms of the level of banner units that we'd had around the time, like for the previous couple of banners. You know, they weren't like a Kui release where we get this a banner unit come out and everyone's just like, good lord, what is this? Like Magetta and to a certain extent Piccolo. Yeah, Buhan coming in clutch with the additionals. I guess as well, the thing with this stage is the fact that we do have the rotation locking, which I was just going to say can be incredibly awkward, especially if we get Glorio locked in slot 1. However, this is quite an interesting scenario because Glorio's locked in slot 1, but he has his active skill, so he can actually just get rid of Jiren's super attack, which is kind of funny. So we'll go ahead and do that. Rotation locking obviously is still one of the most annoying things in the game, in my opinion. So we'll do that, and then that means we can let Glorio attack. Now, obviously there's no reason not to use Broly's active skill here, get the extra stats, and then we'll just go ahead and do that. So no super for Jiren. Glorio gets to attack first. Obviously it means we lose the Glorio support now, because we don't have the slot 3 support for 3 turns. Yeah, full disappointment banner units team. Kui, Magetta, AGL Piccolo, TEQ Piccolo from the Cooler Worldwide. No, it wasn't the Cooler Worldwide, was it? It was the Namek Worldwide, right? Any other horrible banner units? There's definitely been a few throughout the years. I'm trying to think of any like recent ones that were really bad. I'm not sure if he was even really that bad in terms of performance. It was just weird that he came out like the STR, is it like Supreme Grand Kai or whatever his actual name is, like that came out with Buhan but like isn't on Buhan's team and doesn't do anything for like Buhan. I think I might have pulled a copy of him, but I don't think I actually ever used him. Yeah, Brody with an action break as well. And yeah, friend Slug. Obviously Slug with no big bad bosses is going to have lower numbers, but 12.7. But that's the thing, is this is what I was saying when I was kind of talking about the units on the tier list, is like characters have different roles and do different things like for the team, right? So Slug, the fact that he does a triple 12 million attack stat, pretty good. Not as high as Kaioken Goku can get to, but he's, I would say, he is stronger defensively, right? Like, his post-super defense might not be quite as high, but then he has 66% damage reduction. Which, 66% is quite a lot. Like, obviously he's still going to get killed by the hardest hitting super attacks, but I mean, those hardest hitting super attacks will still kill Kaioken Goku as well, right? Like, if we're talking about like a 5 million damage super attack, once you factor in the 66% damage reduction, that drops to 1.7. So if post-supering, he's at like, because we saw that 79% one start of turn having like a million. If he gets multiple supers and he ends up at like 1.5, 1.6, then yeah, he's only taking like 200k from a 5 million damage super attack, which is pretty good. Yeah, unfortunately, this is where we kind of come unstuck. Slug is locked in the middle, and he's supering in slot 1 again. So... And unfortunately, Buhan can't tank like pre-super, can he, with that kind of attack? Because yeah, we'll get 3 rainbow orbs, so he'll have 66% damage reduction, which we just talked about how good 66% damage reduction is, but he is only at like, well, I mean, it's a lot. We can get a lot of orbs, 13. And he gets how much defense with each orb? 30%. I mean, that's pretty good, because that's what, 30... What did I say? It was 13 orbs, so it's like 30 times 13, so 390%. So he's at what, 274? And then he's going to get 390% extra. 274,766 plus 390%. Wait, is he really gonna have? Is he gonna have 1.3 million? That's not. That can't be right. 1.3 million post like picking up the orbs. What does Jiren? What does Int Jiren hit for with his super? We'll just double check. Rotation locking to this day is still the most irritating thing in the game, in my opinion. Like, you can have your team all set up, you get your rotations set the way you want them, and then the game's like, actually, you can't do that. Yeah, he does basically 4 million, but he greatly raises attack, so he actually does like 6 mil. So I'm pretty sure Buhan gets killed here. I don't think if it even goes up to 1 million. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, it only goes up to like 500k. Well, I'll just go ahead and throw this out for the sake of the showcase. Obviously, we would have lost here, but it's one of those things. It's not really because of Slug or the team itself specifically. It is the fact that rotation locking is such an annoying enemy mechanic. He sealed him. That's outrageous. Plus, it is crazy, like, how much HP the bosses have. That's one of the other things we talked about on the podcast last night. Is one of the reasons why Kaioken Goku's damage is so disappointing. Not only because it feels like with his design, he should be a damage-dealing unit, and then he's not doing that much damage. It's not even that he's not doing, like, crazy big attack stats that make your, like, ape brain be like, big attack stat, 50 million. Like, it's the fact that his attack, like, bosses have so much HP now. That's what makes the level of damage that he does so disappointing. Not because it's not like a big fancy number to see on the screen. It's the fact that he could do like 3 supers in one turn, but the overall amount of damage that he's actually done to the boss's like HP bar isn't really that great. I like the fact that these guys actually have come in clutch with the dodges during this turn, which is funny. I think with the item up, they probably wouldn't die if they take a normal, but... The fact that Jiren supers in slot 1 and greatly raises attack as well, so then all of his normals hit harder for the rest of the turn. Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point as well, the AGL Piccolo. Like, yeah, he'll do that one big attack stat turn. It can be like 50, 60 million, but then even that just one time only is not a huge amount in comparison to the what the overall HP of the boss is. And then yeah, he does that one time, and doesn't do it until turn 5. So that's the thing. If a character is a damage dealer, especially if in order to do the damage they're trading off losing 5% HP, not having crazy defense, that kind of thing, then that damage dealer should then be doing Goku at full power. You can even say he wouldn't be able to do it until post revive or something, and that would be fine, and that's as a restriction. But yeah, he should be dropping 30 to 40 million and then doing 3 of those in one turn if he's making you lose 5% HP and not having the craziest defense. Yeah, that's the other thing that rotation locking can be super annoying for, is we're going to end up with a double slug rotation now as well. Which is not what we wanted.
Time to get serious.
Alright, he sealed. Yeah, of course he did. Sealed Janemba. But yeah, I mean, Slug's team I think is really good because of the categories. Demonic Power will get more buffs with Diamond stuff. Movie bosses will obviously always get buffed when we do any celebration that revolves around a movie. Anytime we end up getting a new Bojack or a new Broly or a new Android 13 or any of this kind of thing, right, that'll be another buff for Slug's team. And then Inhuman Deeds has some pretty good characters on it as well. So Slug I think has a very good leader skill. Obviously, I guess it's one of those things that because he was one of the last Dokkan Fests to come out in 2024, obviously the downside is that he does only have a 200% leader skill. But you imagine if Goma does come out as let's say a Carnival LR and has 220% for Demonic Power, I could see Slug still being a very useful unit on that team. Especially with the bit of utility, even if he ends up being a floater, because he doesn't really give support once the domain is finished. But if you get those hits in for him early, then he's got a scouter, he's got relatively good post-super defense. I think he could be pretty good. Now obviously, saying that again, without the item we are dead here, which, good old rotation locking. I'd be interested to see what he takes though, because we can end off the video, he basically is going to die here, which I'm sure the Slug haters will then be see, he died, but locked in slot 1, not a slot 1 unit, what am I supposed to do? But he's got 834k defense start of turn, we've got Big Bad Bosses active, he's got 66% damage reduction. Like I say, he almost certainly is going to die, but let's see how much damage he takes, considering Jiren's super attack does 6 million damage. 765k. So realistically, that we're not that far off of surviving that. If my Slug was Rainbow, because again we've got the banner unit that's only 55%. If we had a little bit more HP on the team by having some characters with more dupes and stuff like that, we would potentially survive that. And as long as everybody else on the rotation is then tanking normals for double-digit damage, then yeah, we survive that turn basically. So yeah, I still think Slug's really good. Yeah, that really isn't that bad for a 6 million damage super attack for him to take 700k. And I don't know which one that was, whether that was my one or the friend one in slot 1. It was the friend, right? So 79%. So at Rainbow, he would take a little bit less. And if he was Rainbow, mine was Rainbow, the banner unit was Rainbow, the team would have a little bit more HP. And then potentially we would survive. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But I still think STR Slug is very good. His team will always get more buffs because of the categories that he leads. Yeah, not just Goma, of course, Majin Ku and Majin Du will be buffs for the team as well. So yeah, I still think he's really good. He hasn't been back on a banner yet, has he? Because I'm very much looking forward to getting dupes for him. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Slug down below in the comment section. Which, regardless of which one you think is better, Slug or Kaioken Goku, let me know why you think the one you think is better. Let me know in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.